Hey guys, it's Colton here, and today we're gonna be looking at the Osomatsu gift collection. It's, of course, Osomatsu, Karamatsu, Choromatsu. These guys are made by Bon Presto, came out around 2016, I believe. Pretty cool Crane King figures, honestly. I love these guys. We have them in their regular colorings, and then this is an alternate coloring for Karamatsu. Actually, Osomatsu and Choromatsu are already open. Karamatsu was the final figure I was waiting for. It was actually Karamatsu and Osomatsu that I got together in a 2-pack. The other Osomatsu is the alternate paint for this guy right here, and we're not gonna open him. Caveat to that, you know, in parentheses, not gonna open him. He came with his tape busted, but he is sealed in the bag, so we can look at him here in a minute. But Karamatsu is 100% sealed, tape and all still, so we can open him up on camera and take a look at him, along with the other two brothers, of course. But yeah, you can see, obviously on this side, you see Osomatsu in his regular coloring. And then here they all are in their alternate coloring. I also have Shimatsu in his alternate coloring. I have all 6 of the brothers in this collection, so we'll be making a video about the other 3 brothers here. But we'll open these guys up, or at least him, and get them set up, and then we'll get to the review. So yeah. Okay, so right here you can see how you'll get any of the Matsuno brothers in this collection in a bag. With the box, there's a little construction you have to do. It's really simple. There's nothing that actually goes together or anything like that. So here, get this open. There we go. And then yeah, that's the, wow. He looks awesome. Definitely looks like a great figure, so. This is how they'll come. They're just flat, really high quality cardboard. This is kind of bent in the package, but not too bad. This folds inside of itself anyways. Here. Folded. Done. We'll take these bits. Just line them up. Just like that. Let's see. There we go. It drops right in. You'll see it like that. That looks pretty good. Here. Okay, now that we awkwardly got him put together, you know, it went a lot smoother with the other brothers. Like I said, it's kind of warped the box, but the actual quality of the box there is great. We got Osomatsu here, and Choromatsu. And then just for something a little bit special, I printed out some backgrounds for the video reviews. So we'll put those out. So now you can see the first 3 Matsuno brothers. With the diorama background I had printed out at my job. It looks really great. These guys are amazing together. Even the alternate suit for Karamatsu, it works perfectly for him because he is such a show-off. He loves to stand out and be different from his brothers. The actual build quality of these guys is immaculate. They're really great, especially for Bon Presto figures. They remind me a lot of the Nezuko figure that I got from my girlfriend. Pretty much the exact same material, the same, you know, density, because there's always some play with Bon Presto, either soft vinyl or an actual statue or figure. You'll always end up with something slightly different, but these guys are really solid figures themselves. Actually, they just sit inside of the box like Karamatsu. Like you saw, you see Osomatsu here. He is beautiful. That is Osomatsu from the show, just pulled straight out, made 3D. He's great. No, perfect detailing. He just sits right in the box, perfect. And then, like we saw, we have Karamatsu. Looking dapper as hell. Definitely don't handle these guys if you have dirty hands. Because that white is really pronounced. Let's see. He can... These guys, some of them sit a little bit better than others. With the birthday Matsuno figures, that is the same case, most definitely. We'll look at them sometime soon, and you'll know what I mean with them. But, yeah, very awkward with some of them, like how they want you to sit them, how they're displayed, versus how they end up actually being. That looks pretty good. And then, yeah, Choromatsu, he sits the best. He's probably the best, like, just as an actual figure. He could be just by himself and work completely fine. You know what I mean? He looks awesome. Choromatsu, this is probably, honest to God, probably my favorite Choromatsu figure that I do have. Because I think that this makes him look like a semi-decent human being. Not a complete degenerate asshole. Not to say that he completely irredeemable, but he's definitely the one out of all three of them that I like the least. Looking at these guys individually, here, pull these two away. Osomatsu, you can see right on the side of the box it says Osomatsu San gift collection. His name, Osomatsu, charisma legend. And then the same thing on this side. Really great figure, honestly, one of the best. In his gift box, Osomatsu is going to be about 4 inches exactly. Probably 4 1/4 without the little stop at the end of the, or at the bottom of the ruler. Him sitting on the ground, he's about 3 inches, or 2 3/4. And then if you try and stand him on his feet, about the same, 3 inches or so. So, yep. He cannot stand on his own, that's for sure. None of these figures are meant to be displayed without the box, obviously, but you could find creative or unique ways to display them, I suppose. Karamatsu, again, in his box. Let me get in position how they most closely have him on the box, because it's so awkward. There you go, that looks good. From the ground, about 4 1/2 in the box, and then without it, kind of awkward. Again, this is what I mean, you know, it's like 2 3/4, but if we put him on his foot, it's like 3 3/4. Obviously, again, you could probably find something for him to sit on, a perch or something, but the weight is kind of off too, so it's awkward, but it's workable. You could figure something out, I'm sure, if you had to, if worst came to worst. Again, we have Choromatsu, probably my favorite Choromatsu figure, standing at about 4 3/4 inches tall. Without the box, we're looking at 3 inches exactly, or about 3 1/4. Yep, nope. Really good figure in general. Like I said, I love the detail on these guys. They're not anything, you know, hyper realistic or anything like that, but they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to represent the characters from the show, and these are perfect. This is the best representation. Almost too good for him. Like I said, he's kind of too nice looking, but besides him, Karamatsu was harder to come by, and I was thankful I was able to find him eventually, and for a good price I was able to get him and this guy, which I'll actually show you real quick. The same figure, just repainted white. Really great. New box for him. Yep, Osomatsu San gift collection on there. So yeah, just really awesome. I love these guys so much. These guys are the definitions of shelf queens. Obviously, they're not gonna be posable in any sort of way. It's just how you choose to display them. That's why I've printed out something like this that is at least unique, and it's gonna allow for me to make something more visually entertaining to look at for these guys. The other background that I printed off here is one of the outside, and you can see that looks really good as well. It doesn't fit with these figures as much, obviously, as their room does, but I do think that having options for displaying them is really important too, because, you know, like I said, you're not gonna get much else out of these guys other than them looking really pretty, because they're great representations of the characters, and I'm not asking for much else than that, but some people are, and that's where you get the Figma figures or something else completely, because there just aren't many options in terms of articulated Osomatsu San figures. They have the remint figures, and then I wouldn't recommend androids because they're just too limited themselves as well in terms of the arm articulation, at least. Leg articulation is pretty sad with them too, but I would definitely recommend the Figma and the remint figures, because those ones actually have a lot of articulation. But that's like all I could recommend, because I can't think of any other figures that act like real toys, you know what I mean? Besides, like I said, they make some like water toys, like the floating ones. It looks like they'd be able to float on water, and I'll pick them up and check on that myself, but not much. The Club Chitin, those figures, those mini ones that hang off the sides of the like water glasses, those are like the only other thing I can think of that could really be considered like toys, you know what I mean? Because how are you gonna play with these guys again? Like I said, these are only for display. These aren't for playtime. Yeah, your kid's not gonna enjoy playing with these guys, even if they look really great. That's the problem, because they just don't have any of the play features that make toys interesting for kids. Obviously, you're not gonna be picking these up for your kids anyways. They're kind of like your grandma's fine china. They're really just to look at, not so much use in any sort of way at all. They do definitely end up collecting a little bit of dust, so like, not so bad. I keep them clean, you know, but that is obviously a problem where it's just all like, well, they get no actual, you know, movement. They kind of just sit on a shelf, and that's all they do. But yeah, overall, I would say that these guys are worth it. There's not many Osomatsu San figures, in my opinion, that can capture the authentic look of the characters from the show, because they always chibify or change some of the proportions in one way or another. I think that these characters are perfect representations of the brothers as you see them on the television screen. Day trade, non-scale figures, they give them, you know, and they really are pretty close to in scale with one another, actually. Those ones are. They give them slightly longer arms and legs and like slightly more realistic proportions. I think that's really interesting. I love these toys, and I definitely think that they're worth picking up if you can find them, because they're not expensive unless you're buying from eBay or something like that. Just watch out for prices. Make sure that you buy them for what you're willing to pay for them. Always remember that. So definitely, I recommend them. But yeah, I mean, I love making these videos, guys. So if you want to support me in any way, just let me know that you're enjoying the videos, like, comment, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.